scheduled, so who knows who will show up?
Yeah, who knows?
We'll see.
I know this is people are smoking, so I'm okay with smoking them.
This is the late show.
But yeah, definitely.
But they'll at least wonder why I'm live after midnight on a Sunday.
Yeah, so you're East Coast.
That's right.
Right. I'm St. Louis. I'm Midwest. Middle America. So I was showing everybody in my live stream the computer stuff that I was doing.
It's cool. I think that's neat.
Yeah, I also mentioned that I was doing hopefully with David and Andy. I'm not sure if they want to use it or not, but
okay. What are you looking to do?
Well, have you heard of Weber Carburetor? Yeah.
You're that fella. You're the fella that sent a message during the live, said, "Would you like a Weber manifold to test?"
Yes, cross ring.
Like Mighty F's or something. Okay, yeah.
You want this one? Oh. Got the dang on table. See, it's real. It's not just in the computer. Thermostat, overflow, right? And also I got heater core and a thermostat bung for your your car gauges.
What size port is that?
340.
Okay, so that's a 2.27 inch port, not a 2.08.
Right. Yeah, basically. But literally last week, because I did it last year, and I kind of stopped because I was getting more into the chassis stuff because I really didn't touch the car. I bought the car with the 340 swap in it, and I just saw that, and it had the Edelbrock whatever and a 750 Carter, so in a purple cam and all that, with the iron heads. So it's already kind of cool, but I was like, it's just the same as everybody else. So I wanted to do the Weber cross ram ITBs with trumpets. I've always wanted trumpets. So.
Well, this will be different. I mean, Andy's looking to test several different things. So Charlie did a beautiful 2-barrel intake for a BBD, a factory intake. But I'm going to take him a 318 factory 4-barrel intake, and then that intake will be cool. He wants to test some different stuff. He's going to have a lot of dyno time on it. So.
Yeah. So with the Webers, they're kind of expensive though, because you got to buy one carburetor for every 2 cylinders.
Right.
So it's 4 carburetors. So I'm going with the eBay route, and because one normal OEM carburetor is about $600.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the eBay for 3 of them was like $500 maybe with the shipping.
Okay. I figured you'd probably get a package deal on the Volkswagen guys, of course, have run them in pairs forever.
Right. And so really it's just the gaskets that are an issue. And then like sometimes you have manufacturing swarf like inside the carburetor. So you got to make sure all your passengers are clean. But you got to do that with a regular carburetor anyway.
You should, yeah.
So is there a way to make this? Oh yeah, there you go. I can make you a little bit bigger. There you go.
Yeah, we've got 5 watching. Usually we have 5, 10 waiting before that we go live, but that's for a regular time slot. This is kind of an odd time, but I figured we'd still have a good number show up.
I did do a post on the Facebook, but then I guess that link's kind of defunct now.
We should have more show up in here, but it isn't. It's awfully late.
Oh yeah. And do you use YouTube Studio? Is that quicker for your sub count?
Yeah, I always check on Studio.
So
kind of an odd time. I don't normally track this time of day, but why not?
If we don't hit it, I mean, it's still just alive, right?
We should. Yeah, it's still just alive, but we should.
And it's my baby step first, like kind of live on camera. Like I was saying, I've done a lot of like lives when I'm working, and I have cars passing me by because I work at the track strip, so it's easy, easy content to just set it down like on a 4-wheeler, on our first response 4-wheeler, and just do that.
So you've got like 150 subs in 3 days.
Yeah. I did run a promotion. That helped out a lot.
So what kind of promotions? Just so it's like
the YouTube promotion.
Okay, so get your stuff pushed.
Yeah. That's literally $3. So I just went to content, got promotions. I'm at $3 right now, and I have 3,600 impressions, but only 650 views though from the promotion.
A lot of subs from that many.
Yeah, and I think it helps that I literally went to this new race shop, and that's nice, wide open space, and it's nice and clean and big. Barrows.
Landon says Barrows has carbs piled everywhere, so he might be able to get your Webers. He might have them in carb piles. We got a lot of people in this community have a lot of stuff.
I have 3 of those Chinese carbs already for my inline car ready to go. So I just finished primering and epoxying paint the new frame rails that I'm installing on the car. I don't know if you've seen that in my videos or if you
I've scrolled it a little bit today.
So for really fair price, I think it was like $200 or $400 total for cap on frames, because it's a unibody car, and being 50 years old, the frames are just smushed and pinch welds bent up and all that stuff, just from age. Yeah, I probably could easily get my 500 tonight.
You should, Dennis. If they come in here, they will. The most we've ever gotten on a live like this was 75, and that was for Jure. We usually 25 is not a problem, but this is awfully late. It's an odd time.
Yeah. So and the video's got like that frame machine in the video too. And so it's like heavy equipment too. So I was like, oh, okay. And then we get to use that. So in the next couple of videos, I did do a couple shorts as well. And like my short, I got a subscriber within 10 minutes of uploading the short.
That's cool.
And I had like 30 views.
Neat.
So, and also I have a big backlog of videos as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing you've got a lot of shorts. You've got stuff on differentials and frame pulling, and
my differential video from 8 years ago is still pulling strong. And that's the most embarrassing video actually that I have, almost, because I'm at one of my first houses with my wife, and so it's like a real narrow brick garage, one single light bulb in the top. Now I got my place like decked out with lights, but that was, and I'm using like standard wrenches on a metric bolt and stuff like that, but it is working. And I did have a couple, like a nice insight, because the way that diff is when you fill it, it's hard with the suspension braces. So if you just like loosen it up and just kind of tilt it a certain way, then you can actually get to the fill plug. So you can drain it, but you can't fill it back up unless you take apart the suspension. So that's like a stick. And so I found that, it's like a problem. And then, made a video of it, how to fix that problem. And that video literally is 8 years later, still pulling hard. I don't even know like how many now, but it also, I don't know if you've seen the carb cheater.
Not yet. I'm pinning your link at the top here real quick.
And carb cheater is pretty cool. That's a YouTube product. I don't know if you've heard of that or not.
I have heard of it. I've heard people talk about it. I haven't worked with it yet.
So, with all you can tune a carb really well, but with the carb cheater, it gives you data logging of your mass air pressure, your RPM, your O2, your speed, you know. So, and one other thing maybe, but the data logging is really big. And then also, yeah, you see,
There's a fellow who's made something like that or similar to that.
well, that's
John
Thunderhead
Mouse.
289 is the guy.
Well,
On
Scarlett's
YouTube.
done something like that too. A Scarlett 4-eyed CUDA. He's made a data system for his carburetor.
Okay. And well, the other trick thing, the cheater part is it's got a idle air control valve essentially, and it'll add extra air into your manifold if you just plug it in, you know, and then it'll like, you know, lean out your car or hit a target vacuum for idling. And so underneath 1,500, you could set it for idle, and then between 1,000 and like 400 or 4,000, it'll do cruising, and you can have two different O2 targets. So you could actually target an O2 at the same time as data logging and all that greatness. Also, there's a 2-step button you can do. So that's pretty cool. With that 2-step button, I'm actually going to be doing my line lock. So I'm about to talk to some of the guys at my drag strip to see how they're doing their line lock release, because I know a lot of guys are doing trans brake stuff, but I don't have a trans brake. So that'll be fun, hitting a 2-step and releasing the line lock, you know, at the same time.
Definitely.
And taking a nice nasty launch off. I have a video of the car without, so I'm doing a intake swap for my inline 6 car, going to these like DCOE style carburetors, because it's much better airflow through the system than what I had before. I was making like 130 pound-feet of torque, 127 horsepower, just loading it on the dyno and then pulling it off. And I was losing fuel pressure like crazy at like 4,000 RPM. So I wasn't even getting full flow in the upper ranges for that car. So I'm gonna be excited for that. At this shop, the guy's got a hub dyno, and it's for free. And this whole shop is gonna be for free, because it's basically this guy's man cave, and he's just got extra space. And so it's a race shop, and there's a lot of SCCA guys here with like road racing and spec Miata in the videos. I have a little bit of that, and actually I have a couple videos of him running the hub dyno. So once like I just finished the frame yesterday and today. I pulled the frame with the frame machine, and I actually welded on those frame caps. So I'll be doing sound deadening a little bit. I got to do it because I'm going to be driving to Branson, Missouri. I have a friend sharing you out. What is that?
Yeah, he's sharing this video.
Oh,
he's sharing your channel, Landon.
I'm going to Branson, Missouri from St. Louis, and that's a 4.5 hour drive. And then we're going to be driving every day for a whole week, like 4 or 5 hour cruises around Branson with Branson Z Fest. So it's a Nissan Datsun Z, and there's like going to be like 300 to 400 of us running around.
We know Adam. He's gotten a lot of subs, and so he's very close to 500 right now. So
yeah,
just letting it rip. And Dizzy's in here now. So hey, if you have not yet subscribed,
490 right now. Yeah, definitely subscribe, please.
490.
If not tonight, yeah, definitely gonna hit it this week for sure. And I really am glad that this was able to happen. And whenever I made the post that I was close, you know, a lot of people were supportive of the group. And I love that even when I wasn't close, people were supporting and talking to me as well. So that's the cool part.
Yeah, you're close. But usually we can go live at most any time and get a good crowd in here. It's an odd hour, but We got some night owls in here. Hoosier Adam, then of course Landon. He's in Idaho. Lars doesn't sleep. Twisted Dennis and Dizzy are both in Central Time.
Any California people or Western people?
I think Idaho's the farthest west we have at the moment, but you never know. We have people from everywhere come in here. Usually, I think I counted we've got about 5 countries represented. We almost always have Canada, Mexico, United States, Australia, New Zealand make it in the chat every Friday. So, well, in California, there's 6 countries if you want to count it as its own.
Nah. We don't claim them. We don't claim them. Yeah. Dizzy Izzy looks like I'm subscribed to them already.
Dizzy, have you been up? You work at what? Was it Gateway? Is that what that used to be?
Yeah, Gateway. Well, Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Right. So, Dizzy, if you've run there, you guys may have crossed paths.
It could be if they ran anything at all. Well, I actually started working at Worldwide after the NASCAR race. So it was cool because actually I bought tickets with me and my wife as a date. I convinced her to go to NASCAR as a date. I don't know how I did that, but I did that, and then I started working there the next week after that. So that was pretty cool. But I worked over like 3/4 of the season last year. Yeah, let's get 500. But if they ran at all at Worldwide, I would have tech inspected them or organized them into the lanes.
So how long have you been a tech inspector now?
Well, it was just last year I got hired.
Okay.
But I've been like a mechanic for a long time.
Right. When did you do your SFI class? Where did you take it and all that? Because there's different ways of doing it. So when you do your tech inspection, you take the class in SFI, like they do it at PRI and different tracks. Did they come to you? Did they have one there?
Actually, I did not have to do that yet. I'm probably gonna have to do that this year, though, for sure. I've been thinking about that because I do want to get certified for sure.
I want to do it. I missed a good chance to do it a couple of years ago. I'm going to get it eventually. I don't want to do tech for my own event, but I would like to do it just for the knowledge.
Right.
I think it'd be good, valuable coursework.
Yeah. Well, whenever I got hired, I was like, all right. And then the guy said, I'm going to probably be doing tech inspection and stuff. I read through our whole PDF of rules and all that stuff. And I didn't get through NHRA's rule book, but I kind of skimmed through it a lot because it's a lot. Luckily with the big boys, the actual like camping world, they have their own people. Mm-hmm. So the real professionals, they that's kind of out of our hands. But I do a lot of like Midnight Madness where anybody can come up with like whatever $20 ticket and go down the track, just so we can get people going down. So it's a lot of like, is your glass window broken, or are you leaking a shit ton of fluids on the ground? Like, is your coolant gonna burst on our track? I've had to kick people out, and also like I had this happen. Well, it was 4 different cars, but I did this to 2 people's cars. It was a Trans Am. It kind of looks like the Camaro, the like Catfish Camaro.
Right.
Those with a turbo, and so they had the turbo mount going to the right headlight, and then the battery is right there, right behind the right headlight. And so the positive is closer to the engine, and you just push the battery into your turbo cooling, your turbo piping, and you spark the fuck out of that battery. And I did that to 2 people's batteries in the same night, within like 10 minutes of each other, because I did the first one and then I saw the next one with the same chassis, same battery location, and they didn't have the battery strapped down. That's the easiest way to get people off the track, is if their battery's actually strapped down. It's just a major safety issue basically with that.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because we take our own tech program into Sykeston to that track, and Deke Denny's our tech inspector and all that stuff. And they have whatever program they normally do over there. We bring our own people, like what you say NHRA does. It's not the things that cause people to fail tech that they think it's going to be. But probably the number one biggest thing people ask about is, oh, when do I need a cage? That's always what they say. And then the biggest thing that actually gets them is battery holds downs and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or like a really bad pinched hose that's laying on something bad, you know.
Rubber fuel line. That's another big one too. And out of date seat belts. That's the biggest one on the fast cars. Out of date seat belts.
It helmets. So also, you know, sometimes we're a little more lax, and it just depends on the event. And sometimes there's a question on streetcar if it's got a plate, has to have a plate or not. And the thing is, so what people might not realize about racing at a track, you're gonna go to that track how many times a year? Maybe like 4 or 5 times a year.
Right.
You know, and we're at the track literally, you know, 300 times a year, 300 days a year, basically. So we have all these different events that have all these different rules and the different setups, different tournament styles, different bracket racing. So every single time, every day is a different rule set for us. So we're actually, you know, like, it's not like the track knows, like hardcore, $4.99. So you really, 500. I just saw it skip over. Yes, yeah, 500.
I knew it wouldn't take long if we got on here.
We did it.
How long did
we
it take
guys?
Us? It took longer than usual. It took us
like 20 minutes maybe. Yeah. And it's not that far into midnight for me. That's awesome. We're going to No Name Nationals, guys.
Congratulations, indeed.
Thank you. Now I actually have to finish the car. Well, really, with my car, I just finished the chassis work, pulled with the frame rail yesterday. I painted over, like I was saying. I'm going to be doing the sound deadening because I have to drive a lot. Like I said, I was going to Branson. And I'm actually going to try to drive the car to Sykeston. I don't know how many people do a lot of trailering, but it's 2.5 hours away from me.
We have both people who drive and people who trailer. Andy Wood said he's bringing his truck, which is a rowdy 6-second 1/8 mile truck, 700 horsepower. He's going to drive it from North Carolina. We got people who will trailer from 20 minutes away and people who will drive from 2,000 miles away. So we got everything there like that.
Yeah, I'm most likely going to bring the inline car for sure, and it'll probably max out once we get it all tuned up and stuff. Max 200 horsepower. With that 340, I really want like 450 horsepower, and that'll get me to where I need a cage. And I'll have to stop because the car is so light. You know, it's like a 2,500 pound car. Max wedge. I gotta make sure I'm subscribing to a lot of people. I went onto your YouTube channel and subscribed to a lot of the people that were on your channel that you were highlighting. What was Max Wedge's, like, the last part of his YouTube?
Sha OBrien, we got Sean over 500 subs. He was close. He was at 487. I saw today. And so he's at 502 now and got some cool stuff going on. He has a Weber carburetor. Those Webers that have the spread 2 barrels, the splayed 2 barrels. He has one with those with four carb intake for a small block Chrysler.
That's the like a Hillborn style.
Look at that.
Right.
And he'll want to know if you're selling those.
It's a possibility, but the thing is, you see, this is all plastic still. And so I do have a dyno, and you know, the engine is sitting next to me, so it's not running. This is a cross ramp style. And so this is actually like 0.03% symmetrical. When I did this is one of my first designs. You see, I made it in 2 parts because 3D printers are small. They're desktop size for like $200, right? Well, I was able to make a way to where I could make half the intake printed, like I showed you, this way. And so I print it, instead of printing it like this, I print it like this.
All right, that's cool. That makes sense.
So with this stuff, the computer stuff that's hard is the fact that you have to make it in the computer and then you have to remake it in real life afterwards. So that's the stick, is you can make it in the computer and try to make it look good, but then also you have to make it accurate to real life back again. So that's where the prototyping and the plastic part goes. I did just start talking to a place in town that does casting, metal casting, mostly bronze and brass. But he did say that he was interested in helping me out, and I just had to basically bring the parts to him, and he might be able to get them casted. It's like an actual business with a foundry and stuff. So I'm hoping with Andy and David, I'm emailing him right now. That's why I'm on doing the cylinder head port stuff, because I'm waiting for Andy to email me, because with my design, I can move it around anywhere I want, right? With the computer. So I just want Andy's input now, because I'm at the part where I have the 318 flange, I have my carburetor flanges or whatever, but how do they want to move the air? Because I can go high on the intake like this. So you see this right here? You see how this goes like this and then goes up?
Yep.
Well, I can make it just go straight up.
If you bring those carburetors out, I'm telling you, it'll make more peak power.
Right.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, so I can go just literally straight up on it, or I could go like this. So I could go like that.
No,
I could do whatever
you
my little heart imagines.
You want to get your port up to where you're looking down at the valve. That's
right. That's what I was thinking. And so with the Fusion 360, looking at that port, I can actually see the flow of the port.
The other thing that would help it a lot too is that that's a factory size 318 head port. So it's actually that whatever it is, 2.08 or whatever. It's that factory size port.
Yeah, and it's gasket matched perfectly. So I don't know if you can see that, but right there, you see the intake?
Yeah.
In the port, and then following it down. Oh, kind of hard to do this. It goes down into that valve right there. So I can actually let me hide a couple of these things real quick, and you can see it a lot better with the flow. But that's what I'm kind of doing while I'm waiting for Andy to email me back.
I know that he picked up a lot of power going from the old school wind intake to a Holley high ram, and most of that's just that runner design. Goes from being Siamesed in and pulls it out.
You see that?
I do.
And then I'll do the remove the valve and kind of there we go. You can see it just flow. Boom. So basically I have the negative of that. Welcome to the big show.
Do you ever watch the Wednesday night Tech Talk? Yeah, because this is what Professor P does all day. He works for Edelbrock.
Wait, Wednesday night Tech Talk with Edelbrock?
Well, Professor P, Shane Polito, and I've been on it. Dallas has been on it with him, but he works for Edelbrock. That's what he does all day. He's designing I believe it's a tunnel ram for a third gen Hemi right now, and he designs this kind of stuff. He just designed some heads that came out. Does them
Well,
all with
my job's a little easier because I have that valley plate now. So I have the valley plate, I have the gasket surfaces, I have my angle of the head now. So really, it's just designing that spaghetti noodle, effect, and like going around each other. So you on Hot Rod, American Hot Rod?
Well, there's Shane's channel.
Yeah.
I'll just put up the link. Slant Daily.
So I know Shane bought the American Hot Rod Association.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
Dallas has the AHRA.
Dallas. Yeah. And then who was the Wednesday night tech talk you were talking about?
Well, Shane Polito, Professor P, he's had it on the Slant Daily channel for many months, and then Dallas moved it back to the American Hot Rod Association channel here a couple of weeks ago. And I was his co-host, until Dallas came back.
The Slant Daily Garage.
Now, but I'm live every Friday. So
okay.
This is Dallas's channel. Both would be quite interested in what you're doing too. I think it's cool.
Thank you. So this is live on your YouTube right now. Yes. Okay.
It is.
Cool. Yeah, there we go. See that? And then also, yeah. Slant Daily. There you go. Cool. So I'm getting a little used to this live.
You're doing great. I mean, we can hear you. You got light, doing cool things. It's working out good.
That's my fiberglass front for the V8 car. And it's actually 2 inches wider. And then on the rear, it's got 3-inch flares on it. So that'll be pretty sweet. Oh, nice. Can't see that. See, I can't. No more light. You just told me about the light. But that'll be cool. And then I'm going to be doing my tires. So I'm going to be balancing tires. I just got brand new Toyo tires.
Okay.
Off Facebook Marketplace. For like $500 with rims as well. And they came off a MGB. So the guy was switching over to like a 4-link rear. Well, I'm gonna bring
what you're bringing to the No Name Nationals.
1974 Datsun 260Z, and I have 2 of those cars, and one of them is I'm gonna bring the inline 6 car probably because that'll be set up. What's easy though is with the 340, it's also carbureted, so really it's not that bad of a swap, because that 340 fits in there like a glove, and you don't have to cut any body stuff at all to swap it. Excuse me. So it's really just a transmission brace that gets added in, a little block, and then you use the stock Chrysler motor mounts. So
what
it's
transmission you running in that?
The 904 or something like that.
That's a great
I have 2 of them. And I know you guys won't like it, but I have a Ford 8.8 Super GT diff. So, yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, he knows to run a 904.
Well, I really want to go switch over to the TriMet.
I'm all about the 904, by the way.
Yeah, I got 2 of them. And with that purple cam, I don't know what converters are in the car or in the transmission,
right,
or anything like that.
Which Tremec would you run?
The TKX or O, that new one.
That's a good choice.
I mean, there's no reason not to, right? To not get the new one.
Functional Histories. We're on here with Sha OBrien, who just got his 500th sub. So he's punched his ticket to the 3rd annual AHRA No Name Nationals, and we did it live. And I emailed him about it, and he's still up. So I'm like, well, we'll just do it.
Well, you emailed me 3 hours before I responded. I didn't realize. I was at the shop though, working on the
No,
car.
it worked out great.
So yeah,
Nivlax Dotson, yes. So you watch Nivlax 57 channel?
yeah,
I figured you had to if you got that
yeah, yeah.
inline six
Oh
Dotson, right?
yeah, oh yeah. I'm don't want to get a 4200, but I mean, kind of do.
Those are great guys. The Nelsons are great people.
Yeah, and then with his dad's wreck, it's so sad. That car. I'm glad that his dad's doing a lot better now. You can see him; he's like moving around a lot better.
Yeah, he
Um,
went on an incredible ride. A lot of people would not have survived that, but it's truly a testament to how safe of a car they built.
right, right. And then the fact that he was saying it was, like underbuilt almost too, at the same time. Um, yeah, it's great. And then that's one of the things working at the track is you don't want to see that type of stuff. Um, but you definitely hear about it a lot. So that's just one of those things that you have to keep out for. And why I like working at Worldwide, because there's always an ambulance no matter what. And if an ambulance leaves, we wait to send down a car down the track until another ambulance comes. We've always got fire safety and everything like that. So it's great. Working at the track and you sending down cars, we wait till we can see the person's taillights going, onto the exit lane before we send another person down. And you always have those oil downs, and I've had a couple near flip overs and wrecks. So definitely excited for the year. Hoping everybody's gonna be safe though, for sure,
Absolutely.
this year.
The worst injury we've had in the No Name National so far, probably a Band-Aid would fix. I mean, that's literally about it.
That's good.
We've had a stellar safety record, so we want to keep it that way.
That's good. Actually, my first week working at Worldwide, one of our workers did get hit. He got ran over backward. It was a big tire car, dragster, and they were burned out and something. I guess the guy's foot got stuck to the track with
Oh,
the
yeah.
shoe. It was so sticky that his shoe stuck, and then they were rolling. After the burnout, they rolled backwards, and they rolled over the guy's foot and leg and broke his leg. The guy was out for the whole season. I hadn't seen him the rest of the season. And he was like a pretty cool guy. I didn't get to meet him too much because it was my first week. 318 will run. Look what I found.
Yep, 318 will run. Great dude. He's joined us a little late. So Sean has just gotten his 500th sub. He is in. He is our second No Name 500 alumnus this year. So I'm going to move him to the alumni section right after this live. But we like to try to get 500 and celebrate together with them when at all possible.
Right.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes there'll be a 475 and blast past it. We won't get that opportunity. Most of the time we do. This time we did, but it was a weird hour. So
right. Well, I'm glad that we did it for sure. Kind of captured lightning in a bottle for a little bit there.
It's a lot of fun. It's a barrel of fun.
So I really do kind of want to bring the 340, but the 340 is kind of out of commission right now because I want to build it right. I've never really built a American V8 to this level, So I really want to save the motor and what's that?
There you go, Miss Katie. She's asking, what are the cubes on a 318 cube 60 overbore? 327.78.
Oh, so actually my 340 is 40 overbore.
But she's asking that, but
yeah 318
40 would be less.
60 overbore. It'd be cool to bring my 340 out, but I definitely want to do that differential swap. So the diff will survive. And then, like I said, I want to do a manual transmission, but there is a Hurst shifter in the car right now, like a silver horizontal shifter.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be that's one of the things. You pay the money to swap to manual for almost no reason. Whenever I
Whatever
could just
works
run
for you.
that automatic, I did do a 5-speed swap on my other car. They come 4-speed, but 5-speed with that highway cruising. All right, well, I guess we
we've got
did
it.
what we needed to do.
We've got it, and we can do this again sometime. This has been a lot of fun. But
Cool.
if we do it again, we'll plan it out, and
Definitely.
But this has been a barrel of fun, and we've got a live coming up on March 29th on that Friday, which I emailed you about. I know you said you'll be working that night.
It's one of our first
it'll be
nights
just
working.
a question and answer thing. So
Okay.
But we're live every Friday anyway, so if you can join us, it'd be awesome.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on, John.
Thank you, Sean. We'll wrap it up. Thank you all for coming in and helping Sean get over 500. We'll see y'all later.
Thank you, everybody.